soon has spawned. Care finding the flank, goes through the equalizer. Xiao trying to get himself away, and he does. Escapes the Ragnarok, and if Olaf doesn't attack for long enough, it becomes a problem. Both summoners used, goes into the overheat, but I think Olaf wins these low HP fights, and he does. Not a care in the world, but one on the Howling Abyss. He wins the 1v1.
Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LPL 2025 Split 2.
It's going to be a contest on top, so of course Sheer doesn't have the ult. Very unlikely for there to be anything. Showing to build something different, justify it with your gameplay. Justify it with your playstyle. Hunt going towards the top side. Oh, flash pull, headbutt into the wall, and an ignite comes down. Pantheon's here for a bit of extra support as well. Who do they give the kill to? They give it to Tian? Yeah, why not? Give your first kill to the jungler, keeping the head in that jungle matchup.
Looks like
Surprised.
FPX won
Yes,
the
they did.
because they're on blue side. Tends to be my assumption with the way those work. An equalizer coming on down into the exhaust, try and keep Breathe alive, but it will be too little avail.
Yeah.
Turn up as violence occurs. I chose right.
I'm not afraid to pull the trigger.
Might be in danger. He's hit with a Vault Breaker into that Relentless Force combo. He needs to back away at some point, and the double pulverize might give him a bit of time to run away, but that ult times out, and Kara is donated another kill.
Use the flash that top side. Tian now in a bit of trouble. Really wants to secure this. Can he get it in time? I don't think he can.
No.
And Shadow gets onto him. Tian, I think lucky to get away without his flash there, actually. And of course, the recall comes through in the top side. No, wasn't seen. Wasn't seen. So there was no threat there. There was no threat. There's Waybo, which is something which you get less of from what have I just hung. How's ult? Tank up the tower.
Sheer is in danger, headbutted into the wall, into the pulverize, into the sheer vault, and there is absolutely nowhere he can go.
Just says, alright, waves.
Flash back over the back of the pit. Shadow will be claiming this dragon. It'll be second dragon for FPX, and that objective feature strength. By the way, there's now teleport in with the Grand Starfall. Can't find the Steel Shadow, and he needs to try and find his way out of the pit. It's trying to be body blocked. Does get over, has a blast cone. Should be able to get out to safety.
Oh, really good attempt. Extra flanking ability to deal with things. Ari coming down to half of the play. This W's got to be good for Breathe.
It's not good enough to deny the crash down. Tries to get saved, but the Empress Divide and Short, he falls. Xiaohu, though, with a bit of support, might look for the 2v3. Kai'Sa coming on down as
the case. Weibo just lose one on the bot side.
Well, I'm backing on the dregs of a ward here, and Shui was in danger. Headbutted into the wall. Xiaohu got a hold of the charm for a second or two, pulls him out of the crash down.
Nice flash.
And he may be forced to burn that flash. Can still keep looking for it. Jway, I think, is just dead.
Wow, doesn't even pull it. Wow. Very surprised that Jway doesn't go for the flash W. Even more gold over to care on the Azir. It can be a real menace later on because Weibo don't have a lot of ability to tank up that Azir. Let's be honest, most champions don't in general, but still not having attack versus Azir, whose DPS can be very, very high. Bit of a problem there. And yeah, Weibo, a little bit off the mark with some of their plays coming through into this mid-game.
They are 2-2. Falls away. Shadow now around. Xiao, who has to flash, doesn't have the ult, remember, so that's just going to allow London to come on in. Still, though, Light was trying to find an angle, will not quite manage to do anything there as if they get the Kai'Sa ult on in, and Hung flashes away to safety, but the Ahri is dead to rights.
Great trigger pull by FPX. Great trigger pull. This first pick Vi, this is why you see it so often. There are a lot of power pieces.
Care is so strong. Another turret having gotten another kill.
Yep.
This is it. Is set up to be an absolute emperor, literally, in this game. The Liandry's now done as well. Very, very scary on this mid lane.
The Azir and the Kai'Sa are going to be very, very hard to deal with cleanly. The Rumble ultimate will be able to respond to your pick attempts too. So if you try and pick one of them off, it's a problem. And right here, Hung has to blow his ult. Doesn't have a flash. That's a dead cow.
Headbutt pulverize. The bullet time buys some time, but a Magnus Storm in trade allows for a very swift kill on that Alistar. And with the man advantage, Care and Shadow head straight onto this Atacama.
Alistar caught out just between things. Weibo will trade for the top lane turret. Weibo, one of the pioneers of giving up Atacama for something on the other side of the map, even when it was very strong in the split one. Atacama, that demonic figure, unleashed on the side of FPX.
Converted suddenly into a field of roses, which will be to instead try and play for some of this mid lane control. Light Xiaohu. Wave clear here, I think, so we can test FPX. Second item, Jonathan found the bullet time combo with that pulverize after, but don't get the kill. Now the turnaround comes flying on through, and Tien is just dead. Xiaohu, with the ult still running, can look to potentially kill someone on Black, and which way is low, will flash away. Stays alive, so does Sheer, though. They get a nice equalizer back, though. Breathe throws down the Hallowed Mist, and will prevent too much of the burn. Needlework traded out as Sheer looks to find a chunk of his own.
Weibo's front line is so conditional. You have to use the Pantheon Aegis Assault, the Gwen Hallowed Mist, or of course that Alistar ultimate. It is so easy to misstep on that. FPX can pull those triggers on a hair trigger. And right here,
what flashes here is Xiaohu threatens with a charm, but they can't turn that into a kill, and the equalizer immune, yes, by the Gwen, but that's about it. As Breathe now in danger, gets crashed down on. And that Hallowed Mist to keep him alive for a second or two, but Waybo giving him quite a lot of force. I think FPX have overplayed this one. Shadow stays alive, but no, Hung dies too. Both supports suddenly falling to their opposite members.
I think both teams choose not to contest. Weibo find themselves into bot river, but FPX will go towards the mid lane turret, and now they're the ones retaking the pit. This is very much like your Valorant CSGO.
They'll try and get on in there, can't get in there in time to fight for the dragon, but the fight afterwards might give Asuma a lot of answers. Cleanses off the exhaust, flashes out to safety, another knockup, and Weibo Gaming are left to the wolves, or at least the Sand Soldiers, as Care finds another wonderful ult.
Emperor's Divide onto 3 at the end of it. Triple kill to Assume, and Weibo get their dragon, but already get this monstrously fed Azir even more gold. Weibo, that was, for me, their last chance into this game. I think they just misstepped on it.
There's a tier 2 up in this bot lane as well. The unsurmountable deficit. We'll try and find an angle now as I speak about it. This might be the last gasp attempt. The equalizer comes on down. Sheer will go golden. He's caught in the middle of a lot of members. The snip will come on through. Misfortune gets that one, but Light is left out to dry, snuffed out. They get another back though. Kaiser is down. That's giving resets over to this Ahri, who suddenly got free space. Finds a shuffle, does Care, puts up the turret, try to play out this fight as a 1v2. Care does some heroics to save the blushes.
Tien has flash. Tien has flash, and they have one last Ariel as well. Can they go towards it? Dash away. Tien can flash over onto him.
She'll vault in. Charm is denied by the statue. But where does Care go? Gets a few more autos down. But Weibo Gaming get the ace.
Weibo with some magic in the team fight. How the hell do they end up fighting the way?
Fake pressure achieved by putting up temporary structures.
Yeah, now Dragon's going to get started on spawn. FPS wants to take the fight in the next handful of seconds before that becomes an issue.
Tien gets chunked, but of course he's got a GA. Should be alright for now. Hung, though, in the middle of everyone in danger. Way into the backside, so is Assume. Cease and desist on the line, they're dead! They're all gone! Weibo Gaming! Gaming no more!
The Azir turret in the mid lane cuts off the retreat for Light. Thought about heading back into it, but can't head back into his own half of the map. FPX don't even need the soul, and they'll march towards a game 1 victory.
Turrets gonna swiftly fall here to the maxed damage of FPX. The inhibitor turret was very short order. The Nexus afterwards, and FPX come into this game swinging. Can they convert it finally into a series window? They have been caught at the 1 game margin so many times this split.
Helps you survive in later game teamfights, double long range AD carry.
It's been a while since we've seen a Thresh even, honestly. The champion we see loads and loads of in the current meta.
With your ultimate. So we need some help in the early game. Jway flashing forwards, has that hook, no, the Hex Flash. Now this is a problem. He's just Hex Flash, gets hooked into the play, then Ignite gets dropped. A slow comes down, and here comes Shadow. Jway's gonna go down. Can anything more be achieved? Tien has flash. I don't think there's gonna be anything more from this. You get that root, there is an instant hook gonna come afterwards. Tien goes into bot side jungle, river rather. Flash available on Jway. I don't think this is a fight that they necessarily want. Remember, you don't have that ultimate and there. The chomp as Jway goes down, but Assume can get a reset. They must disengage now. Jinx starts running at them. Kag has level 6. Hung doesn't have flash, and that's 2 kills very quickly over to Shadow's Lilia. Weibo, they missed their opportunity to catch out maybe with a flash Gravitum snare onto Assume and force the fight in better terrain. Gravitum root as well to get through into a red weapon, into a green weapon, into your white weapon. It changes the game completely. So watch out for those mini mechanics. We'll recap on that, of course, as we go through the game. This will be on your test. Dragon goes over to the side of FPX. Let's see, lethality has become very popular after a while, going towards that collector. He doesn't have that maxed out right now. Goes towards the AD, of course. Xiaohu starts to cut things off in the pass, but now he's left in a 1v3. Oh, he misjudged that angle. Xiaohu, no flash. Assume will get a very quick reset, but on the other side, Waybo want to force something of their own. Breathe gets himself into the backline. Tien is not tanky enough, and it's a 2-for-1, with the grubs likely going to FPX. Assume has the last of that excited and lands a slow. That might lead to a couple of issues. Like, does he have his ultimate? No, he used it earlier in the fight. Breathe wants to take one back. They're still going into a Jinx who has the last of the lethal tempo. And can get another reset. Breathe. Oh, he's gone too deep and can't kill Care. Double kill over to the Corki. Waybo lose their heads and lose their minds around the grubs. Kill onto the Lilia. Playing against a resetting Jinx is very difficult, even at this part in the game. It allows them to reposition, which is a big thing, of course. And then Breathe tries to get onto Care to trend something back, and it's just, hang on a second, what's happening on this top lane turret? 3-man dive on the picture-in-picture. That's a pretty fair, well, pretty tanky Scion. Be able to clear out the wave. Notice he's not making it out alive, but on the other part of it, at least he clears out the wave. Breathe doesn't have his ults. Lanson, used by Care, takes aggro briefly. Can't get the kill, though. And Breathe can intercept the wave potentially. They'll just be able to walk around the other side of the turret, though. Can Breathe get himself enough wave clip? It's half of the wave. Can he get more of it? Have to chase him a little bit further to get that hard-earned cash. Assume could cast his ult down here. Big one hits. Assume will clean up with the fish bones. Another kill to the Jinx. Still, they are consistently inconsistent, is the moniker we gave to them. I think the big thing about facing a team like FPX is that a lot of our Group Ascend teams have assumed that they don't have to prepare that much for them. They'd rather prepare for BLG, for JDG, for anyone's Legend, Toppies, or Side G. And instead, FPX are kind of left as help players like Care, like Sheer at points, like Assume at points to be a big carry. Seems having a good day today. This Kai'Sa in game 1 was very strong. 205 now on the Jinx. That's a hook into the box. The ultimate goes on to Care, though. Is he going to be in range? No, he hooks him out of the fucking Ambassador ult. Oh, Hug, what have you done? What have you done? The Infernum's not going to make a big deal of difference. The Q over the wall put Fellows into danger. Hook over the wall. The Thresh Express goes towards the Krugs. And they'll have to flash away. Didn't want to be in there. Sheer, very tanky. Full HP complement from the Scion. Hook missing over the wall. Assume it's still free firing. Can they get another reset? That'll be the big difference. Yes, they do. Assume gets the move speed, gets the attack speed, and that's a flash forward to go onto the flashless Aphelios that Lilia goes forwards to, and Assume is resetting once again, but he's gone into melee range. Is that going to be enough? That lethal tempo, that Jinx. Oh, it's magical. Some might even say arcane. Triple kill to Jinx. Bad now. Ooh, Jinx ult goes a little bit wide. Back into live. Do we actually have a proper engage? That's a Valkyrie cancelled out by Care. Does have the flash. Tien getting good damage down there. Hung once again getting down to low HP, but has he done enough? Assume is low HP and had used those summoners the last fight. Maybe FPX overindulged in that last play, but here comes the Lily around the back of it. Do they have enough damage without their Jinx, though? Perhaps they do. Sheer goes down. Currently, 4v3 on the map as Breathe will go down. That is a very loud Corky Gatling gun. For some reason, the audio has gone very, very strange as Cat keeps going forward. Light goes into melee range with that onslaught. But can he get away from Shadow? One last Q, not even needed. The burn comes through, and Shadow gets a Lanson out to safety. What the hell is happening as the game sound is gone? The crowd's still going loud. But Waybo come away with the one fight because Assume doesn't have the summoners. Why are we still hearing the Gatling gun? Why do we still have that? What? What? Oh god, it's so loud. Back into live. And we have fixed audio. Hung going over the wall. Actually not. Assume no flash. This Jinx without flash. In a much more precarious spot. Hook misses. Flick back onto the Scion. He's in front of the Aphelios now. Gets the rifle turrets. That Calibrum Crescendum. Very, very nasty. And it's Hung that goes down first. What the hell was he doing there? Shit, doesn't even have to worry. That's a good precision ult. And Tien gets himself the dragon. That's an important steal. Stops FPS getting towards that one. Assume is taken down. However, the 3-man sleep comes through. Tien trying to buy time. The Swell Seed pops it. It looks like the damage going the side of FPX. Assume is dead though, so no resets to come through. Shadows Lilia. Huge value. Saves the back end of the play, even if they don't get the dragon. And the Thresh as well. I will say, not that impressed with Assume and Dway managing to keep the Jinx safe with Lanterns. Getting that flay onto the first person into the fight. One of the big problems with Thresh and why he's not been in meta is that he does get picked off as that first target so quickly. Atacard now available. FPX only 1,000 gold ahead of the curve now, but just assume it does have flash. No cleanse, of course. Not as useful, I suppose, in this game. Actually, not very useful at all, thinking about it. Doesn't matter against the... It only matters against the Aphelios. Only 1 on 5, and the problem is, when Nautilus is in a game, Jinx is happy either way. Either it's your Nautilus, and he'll start off for the play. Atakan's going to go down. FPX give up the contest. Ruinous Atakan taken. The flowers will be taken by Waybo as well. They'll trade that for what? They don't have pressure in bot lane. Mid lane turret's already down. For vision control, I suppose. But then the other side of the Nautilus is if he's on the other side, Nautilus often dies first too, giving you a reset. Oh, ult in from Sheer into melee range. Some of that dust going onto Tien. Does Shadow pull himself the ult? No, he doesn't. Sheer trying to pull the front line again. That's a flash forwards for the lilting lullaby, but it doesn't lead to that much. It's just a bit of a disengage. Xiaohu, though, caught out, and maybe FPX can use that instead. Light has the caliber and crescendo. He has those rifle turrets. How much damage can he do? Stacking up that lethal tempo. Resume getting a reset. Cat has that flash, has the Valkyrie, and he'll get himself a kill. In and out. The Corki daring Bombardier gets himself the team fight participation he wants, and Jinx cleans up Weibo. Oh, Weibo. Falling behind several thousand gold now behind FPX, despite the Atacon take. Baron will go over, and FPX might be eyeing a 2-0 if they keep this up. I think the only thing I was talking about was the Jinx W. It's the only thing I can remember. And if I talked about Swell Seed, I'm not sure I referred to it as that. Anyway, I can't remember. Either way, Drank's, the tower's going to go down. Care caught out on the side lane. And that was the go button for them. One of the carries down. Traded, of course, for some pressure in mid lane to get the Care's mistake, but what it does is it stops a lot of the Baron push. It's only 1,000 gold lead right now. Can they walk away and get? They do have 5 grubs. 10 around the side. Remember, no flash on his team still, and Care's not in the fight. Oh, that is not a good contest from FPX. Oh, that's a bit of a problem. Call an ambulance. And definitely for Sheer, that's a good swirl seed, though, on the backside of it. Assume doesn't have the ultimate, and they do get the reset, though. Goes inside that prop, the ultimate from Tien. Is there a route left? Yes, there is. It gets a little bit of delay. Shadow, so much damage, though. In spite of the start of this looking good. Oh, it's a mess. Jinx go down. Aphelios dies in return, though, and Care is the last remaining carry. The ult misses from Breathe. Oh, that could be so critical. Breathe gets the Eclipse and gets the damage. Misses the ult, but gets the cleanup. Waybo find themselves somehow a 4-for-3 fight. Still nice to have that for that first target kill. Death cap for Talia. Can that be a difference maker? Swell Seed under threat. Shadow gets just a single one onto the Ambessa. Doesn't lead to that much. Light peeling back. Has the red-white. Wants to get himself those chakrams into a target, but it's going to be the reset first. Care jumps forward. Tien has to pop the ult, and I don't think it's going to be enough. Tien goes down. So does Sheer, but I think the difference has already been made. That's Zhonya's from the Watch Out Eep. What makes the difference again? And Light, though he gets it all over the wall, can't make the difference. Breathe flashing forwards. Can he kill Jinx? Yes, he can. Powder goes down, but there is a second AD carry. And FPX will clean up the fight, get themselves the Infernal Soul, and Waybo, oh Waybo, cannot win out the late game fights. Care have human Care. Very, very hard. Captain Jack from Light on one side of the fight, which I missed when they were killing out Tien. Shadow flashed forward, gets that W into the Zhonya's for the full Watch Out E damage. Care flashing away. That summon is so important here. Breathe flashing forward, sees an angle on. Baron for free onto FPX. Almost full build in the LPL. Shadow coming in and bringing a sense of leadership, a sense of a go button. Yes, he misses every so often, but Shadow's is so important for this team and their ability to carry. He starts the fight in important ways. Swell Seed over the wall, misses out onto the carries, but makes them back off from the turret. Get excited from Jinx. From that tower definitely helps. Remember, still no summoners. Care taking a lot of random damage from the flamethrower. The Infernum doing so much work. Light trying to carry, but the Swell Seed comes through. The Mega Infernum Bomb gets some damage, and Breathe gets on to Care, but does go down. Assume looking to threaten for a reset. CC misses. Sheer trying to get some frontlining done. Jinx gets the reset, but is it too late? Both of their their top lane in support, taking a lot of damage. As the Lord Dominus regards himself. Look, we're into the point in the late game now where a big enough combo from Waybo maybe ends the game. You still have a moment where Flash is down on both AD carries both AD carries. Flash away. Not flash away, flash in. However, Swell Seed lands. That's important. Can they get the kill afterwards? Hung putting his body on the line, and Xiaohu lives through the initial engage, but the same cannot be said of Nautilus. 1-for-1 so far, and the Lilia goes down. Shadow goes a little too far. The 6,000 gold lead there makes a difference. The hook goes wide. And this is what we're saying. It's late game enough that FPX cannot stroll into these plays. Shadow goes down. Such an important part of these team fights. However, Waybo still losing bits and pieces of the map. Still an inhibitor down on that top side. On the flank. Level 18 has flash. God, this ambassador is going to do a lot of work. Shadow. One Swell Seed could win them their first series here in Group Ascend. Hook lands. We were away from it. Hung goes down. That's the excitement. Assume, what's the play now? Frontline separated away. Some damage going on to Sheer. The flash forward from Shadow. Light has the cleanse, but there's a Scion sat right in melee range of him. She can't finish up the kill, but I don't think Light can do that much more. Shadow body blocks the flamethrower, and I think the job is done. Ambessa, the wolf, kept out of the gates, and the Shadow consumes all. Waybo fall to darkness, Light falls to Shadow, and FPX will find themselves their first series win here in Group Ascend. 2-0 for FunPlus Phoenix.